Hey guys, Simon here with Caddis Fly Shop at Oregon Fly Fishing Blog, and today for you I'm tying a little PMD soft hackle or spider fly. It's real small, so come on closer and I'll show you a closer look of it and explain why I like to tie it this way. So this is pretty much a classic thread body soft hackle, kind of like your classic partridge orange, just with a little bit added to it. There's a little pop of floral fiber back here. And then there is a little bit of flash back here, so it's real simple. This, you could call this like a light Cahill wet. You could call it an improved light Cahill wet. It's real simple, but this is something that I like to tag behind a dry fly and let it kind of sit in the film. I'll explain during the video why I like to do it like that. Or you can swing it, or you can use it in a nymph rig. So it's a pretty versatile fly, and I will show you how to tie it. It's a really easy one. So the hook we're using on this is the North Country Spider LE810 in a size 12. I do like to size up for soft hackles and these types of things when I'm tying them. You know, this is obviously imitating a PMD. PMDs are like 16s. They're not really maybe 14s, but they're really like 16s. So I do like to size up a little bit. You'll also be able to see the way I tie this, it's choked up on the shank a little bit towards the front too. So having a longer shank allows for me to add in the little tag as well as the hot spot. So that's why I chose a larger hook. I also feel like sometimes, unless you're on like a really slow moving spring creek, in our rivers, the water moves pretty quick. So if you have something that's too small, the fish just aren't going to see it. That's just a problem when you're fishing, like really quick moving riffles in the Mackenzie and the Willamette and other places in the valley. You just need to give the fish something that they're actually going to see. That's the kicker. So what I'm using right now is this is Danville's classic wax thread in like a cream color in 70 denier. And what we're going to do is just do a little pinch of this floral fiber in right here towards the back. We're going to bring it all the way to the back. And then what we are going to do is take a little piece of this flashabou right here, and we're going to wrap it in. So to minimize the bulk that you build up, once you have this pinched in, you can see I have like one thread wrap right there. I will catch this right here and wrap both of them back at the same rate. And then I can kind of mitigate the bulk that gets built up on this thing. Just like that. Because that's, you don't want to have a ton of bulk on the back of this. Especially if you're trying to make a taper, you want it to look natural. You don't want like a big bulky butt on the back of the fly. So what I like to do is I like to palmer this up much farther than it has to go, because I can always cover it up with thread. And so once you pinch it off, then we can snip the excess here. And then you can cut the tag down. I keep the tag very short. I don't want a huge tag on the back, just a little spot for the fish to see. And then we're just building a classic thread body on this one. It's real simple. Just think you want to create a taper here. And you can see I do have a little bump here, and that's why, being mindful of how much thread you're using and where you're putting it is really beneficial when you're making a thread body like this. It's especially important. But this fly, my favorite way to fish it actually is tagging it behind a dry fly. I've been fishing a lot of stuff like that lately. It's an emerger, but it's really like a crippled bug that is fully drowned type of thing, or it's like an ascending bug that hasn't fully popped over the water column yet. I'm going to add just a little bit more right to the back. That'll help kind of really sell that taper back there. And then if we add a little bit here, that's your body. It's real simple. You can coat the whole thing in resin, or you can just coat this little back, or you could do no resin at all, but this will help the fly stay together a little bit. I'm just going to do a little dot right back here. That'll just help keep that tinsel from getting beat up on the back. We're going to cure it with our UV light. And then, so the fly doesn't collapse on itself, we're going to use a little bit of this tactical dry fly dub from Fully Mill. They call this March Brown, but it does make a good color just to add a little bump of dubbing on this. And we're going to twist on a very narrow noodle. I like this stuff because it can dub really tight. And for something like this, you just want a little bump. And if you do too much, it's going to like make it look weird. These little spider flies are really, really delicate, and you don't want to, you just don't want to do too much. And so, yeah, we're gonna make the bump kind of close up. You could see I adjusted it just a little bit from where I started, and we're gonna add just a smidge more. Because if you don't do this, the partridge fibers just lay flat on the body, and the fly isn't doing a whole lot. So the beauty of this is the legs move. So that's about the size bump you want. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to take a partridge feather from a partridge skin. If you have a neck, pick from the top of the neck up here. I would personally urge you, even though it's more expensive, to buy these skins because you get way more feathers. It's really, really hard to run through them. The only reason I ran through one is because my new cat got a hold of it and tore it apart. So had that not happened, I'd still be working on the same partridge skin that I got like 2 years ago. So it's a good option. It's a little bit more money up front, but the quality of feathers that you get totally makes it worth it compared to buying those little baggies and having to pick through for the right stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to palmer this, and depending on the feather, generally I only like to do one wrap once the fibers start to kind of wrap themselves around. We don't need a whole lot here. If you do too much, it's just going to crowd the whole fly up. So I stripped the quill deliberately to make it so that there's not going to be too much, but we're going to trim off the stem, and then we're going to help these fibers back real quick here. And this will create the head and force all the fibers back. And here's where you can kind of choose where they go. You can kind of evenly space them. The beauty of the way I tie soft hackles is it doesn't need to look nice right away. The way that you wrap the head will kind of clean it up as you go, which that's kind of how I like to do things. Swinging this on a little trout spay is a great option, as well as just on a single hand rod, kind of before the hatch or even during, and then also just running it in a nymph rig can work pretty good too. You can tag it behind a chubby, you can tag it in line with your dry dropper, you can go chubby, nymph, and then this below it. You can do all sorts of stuff, but this is a super, super versatile fly. It's something that you should have in your box this summer. It smashes and will pick up a lot of fish that are selectively feeding and don't want to come all the way up to the surface when the PMDs are coming off. So we'll cure this little bit, but here you've got a great little soft hackle that will tear it up in the weeks to come. You can get all this stuff and more at caddisflyshop.com, and if you're local, we'll see you in the shop. We'll have all the stuff for this fly when it's posted. Thanks.